I own a special inspections and material testing company in New York. We have about 75 team members, and we're on schedule to make about $10 million in revenue this year.
Way to go!
Yeah, we're killing it. It's great. We've implemented profit sharing based off of reading the EntreLeadership book, and I found it's been helping our management team stay motivated in the game. But we do the profit sharing on an accrual basis.
On a what basis?
On an accrual basis.
Okay.
And we do our taxes on a cash basis.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just curious if I should be taking into account the taxes that I have to put aside when I'm implementing the profit sharing. Should I take some out, if that makes sense?
If you need to cover the tax bill. I mean, it's a cash, yeah. Yeah, you can still do cash basis for tax at your size for now. Here's the question that popped into my head, and it really wasn't what you're asking. But my personal experience is the more, the closer the profit is, the sharing is tied to the actual production of the profit time-wise. Like if you make a profit, like if you make a commission and you don't get paid for 6 months, that's not as motivating as if you make a commission and you get paid Friday.
Yes.
And it sounds like you're delaying your profit sharing with the accrual.
I'm not. The cash flow is good so that I still have the money. So we're only 3 months behind on the profit sharing.
Why? Why are you doing that? Why don't you just do it 1 month? Why don't you close March by April 15 and pay it on April 15? That's what we do. I'm just curious. There may be a good reason. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I want to get it closer to the actual month.
Just because we do concrete sampling, when we go through winter, we go through a slower period, and I just want to make sure. So I do it on an accrual basis for a quarter.
You only pay it once a quarter.
I pay it once a quarter just in case there are some slow months. If they're not meeting their numbers, there's a deduction in that month. Mm-hmm. And it just keeps the cash flow moving. I don't want to promise people money if I don't have that cash flow. You know what I mean?
Okay. If you made a profit in March and you're on a cash basis, why would you not have the money to pay the profit sharing from March 15 days later on April 15th?
Because profit is on an accrual basis as opposed to a cash basis. We work in government contracts, so we're not paid till 30.
Yeah, but 90, if you're running the business on a cash basis, then you can calculate profit on a cash basis, can't you?
I can, yes.
And pay your profit sharing on the cash basis. In other words, if that contract, you sign a contract on accrual, the stupid thing goes on the books, but you don't get your money for 6 months is what you're talking about.
Yeah, I was doing
pay them only when you get the money.
But I was only doing it on an accrual basis to see if the company at that month was being profitable in all the actions that they were taking.
But if you're running the business on a cash basis and the actual cash that came in versus the actual expenses that came in created a profit, then you're profitable. Am I missing something?
Well, if a client decides to pay, $300,000 worth of invoices in 1 month, and then I don't get any cash flow from other clients the next month,
that's a different problem. That's a different problem.
Management team is actually working well in being profitable. That's why but you could
if you don't, we don't disclose our percentage. Okay?
I don't either.
And that we're distributing, and so. This is just a discussion. This is not me correcting you. Let me make sure you understand that, okay? Because here's what we're doing, and we're just comparing notes, okay? Because I run into some stuff, too, where we have some really low months. For instance, summer around here is really slow. December's huge for retail, book sales, and that kind of stuff, but like live events is low. Some of the other stuff is low, right? So we will hold, if we have like a banner month, a bonus month, a bonanza month, like you're talking about $300K or something, and then there's nothing the next month, we will hold some of that profit. We won't distribute it all. So that we have something to distribute the next month. We do smooth it, But we do all of this on a cash basis, not accrual, because I want to be able to put up there, March was great. And our profits were up, and so your profit sharing is up, and I want to do that quickly. And I want to do it, and we do it monthly, too, for that reason. When we were doing it on a quarterly basis, we weren't getting the emotional lift that we were expecting to get from the actual thing. Now, you're getting some lift emotionally. You told me that. The management team's appreciating it. But my contention is, my challenge for you to consider, and again, I'm not correcting you. I'm just interested in how you're doing it. We've chosen to do it on a cash basis because we want the monthly frequency. And if we have a bonanza month followed by a down month, and we know that's coming, we're going to hold the bonanza month, some of it, back so there is something in the down month. And we create smoothing that way rather than by using accrual to do it. So something to think about there, but you're doing really good work. I love what you're doing. I love how you're handling it. And yeah, if you continue to handle it that way and the tax issue is going to throw you, then yes, you do need to pull the taxes back out of it and lower it by that, because taxes are part of profitability in your situation. And so you can't get bid on that. So the profit sharing is net of taxes. And because people like you and me, we run our lives on a real cash basis. We don't run it on EBITDA or on accrual or anything else. We actually want to see money in the account. And that's how we know if we're going to be open or not, because that's old school, and that's why I love cash basis accounting when you can use it. So anyway, I get what you're doing. I would not pay on profits that the cash has not been received. So if you have a government contract that's going to pay out in 6 months and it's going on the books and it's showing you profitable because of that contract and you don't have the money from that contract yet, I would not have a profit sharing program that paid on that. That'll create a cash flow bind. Big time. You can really get in a pinch on that. So salespeople that I tell our salespeople all the time, when you get a contract signed, you haven't made a sale yet. When we get the check, now you've made a sale. We even had a ridiculous, funny thing we would do with new salespeople. We would take the check out of the envelope and put a piece of tape on it and let them wear it around on their forehead when they got their first check in, so they proved they made a sale. And that was like a rite of passage, like we were hazing them or something. But because when you get actual money in here is when we count it. I grew up in the real estate business, and having a property under contract you don't get paid for that. You get paid at the closing. When the buyer gives the seller money and the seller gives the buyer a deed and the agent gets paid that day. You don't get paid for a wish. And so I don't want you to get into that business either. It doesn't sound like you are, but in your particular case, you're doing really, really good stuff. I love it, Connie. It's good to talk to you. Thanks for letting me have that discussion with you. I enjoyed that.